They wore crowns and silk. They ruled nations. But behind the walls of palaces, royal women often lived lives filled with silence, fear, and pain. This isn't the history they teach you in school, because these stories are uncomfortable, disturbing, forgotten on purpose. Today we are going to uncover the forgotten instruments used not on enemies of the state, but on queens, duchesses, and noble daughters, punished not for treason or murder, but for being women in power. Let's begin. One of the most horrifying devices used was the breast ripper. Forged from iron, it looked like a flower made of claws. Heated until it glowed red, it was used to punish women accused of adultery, witchcraft, or speaking out of turn. Even members of nobility weren't safe. In 1614, a noblewoman in Central Europe was sentenced to public shame, her body torn apart as an example to other women of virtue. They called it justice. It was domination. Then came the mask of shame. Shaped like a smiling face, grotesque, metallic, permanently frozen in expression, it was locked onto the heads of women considered too loud, too clever, or too opinionated. In some kingdoms, these masks were adorned with gems and feathers to make the cruelty look elegant. Imagine walking through the halls of a royal court with a fake smile welded to your face. The menstrual chastity belt was another tool disguised as tradition. Made of metal, locked tight around the waist and groin, it was meant to contain impurity. Some belts had intricate patterns and symbols, as if holiness could excuse the discomfort. Royal women were expected to wear them for weeks, even during ceremonies. They weren't allowed to bleed freely, because even their biology was treated like shame. And then, childbirth. It was never private. Royal births were public events, watched by priests, doctors, and noblemen. The mother, stripped of dignity, would sit on a stone or iron birthing chair, back straight, legs bound, while others observed. There was no anesthesia, no silence, just the echo of screams in cold palace chambers. Queen Catherine de' Medici endured 10 of these, and each one was a performance of power, not of care. But the torment didn't stop there. Let's talk about the corset, or rather, the iron cage wrapped in silk. Royal women were expected to maintain impossibly small waists, sometimes just 14 inches around. Tightened day after day, corsets compressed ribs, collapsed lungs, and deformed spines. Some fainted during dances. Others developed internal injuries. But smiling through pain was the expectation, because beauty was not a choice. It was a demand. And when emotions broke through the surface, grief, rage, exhaustion, the solution was not comfort. It was bloodletting. Leeches placed behind the ears. Veins opened with knives. Gallons of blood removed from the body of a woman whose only crime was acting unstable. Queens were expected to be graceful statues, not human beings. And when they cracked, the doctors made sure they bled. All of this, wrapped in gold, hidden behind stained glass and velvet. The world remembers kings and crowns, but it forgets what those crowns cost the women beneath them. These tools weren't just physical. They were symbols of fear, of control, of power held by others. Because in royal courts, obedience was beauty, silence was grace, and suffering was tradition. If this disturbed you, remember, this was just one chapter. There are more stories buried under centuries of silence, and we are just getting started.